Hi everybody, and welcome to another video. This is a change, doing a video midweek. My shifts have changed for one day stroke night, so I was actually able to get up early, sleep last night rather than work the night shift, but I'm back in again tonight. So I thought I would do part 4 of my top 3 albums for 5 consecutive years. And this is from 1985 to 1989. Now this is where, well, I've got one more to do after this, 70 to 74, but I really can't go on after 89 properly because I don't really know enough, and I would find to be picking a lot of bands and artists that were from the 70s and 80s themselves in the anything above or past 1990. I don't know what I might do. I might actually do from 1990 to 2018 my favourite album of each year. I don't know yet. But anyway, this is 1985 to 1989, and as I say, this would be my least favourite of the 5 sets of 5 that I'm doing, and I'm leaving my favourite actually till the very end. Okay, so starting off with 1985, and the third best for me is the Smiths' Meat is Murder. This is a great album. I don't think it's quite as good as their first album. It's actually produced, I think the Smiths had a lot to do with the production themselves. There's one single off this which flopped, That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, which possibly was the wrong choice. Nowhere Fast is great. Barbarism Begins at Home is absolutely wonderful. Russian Ruffians is a complete steal from Marie's the Name of His Latest Flame, but it's still really good. Again, Morrissey has to get his way in. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, as you probably might have guessed. But the song Meat is Murder, I just can't abide. I just don't even like the music to it. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, this is a good album, a really strong album, but it's not my favourite from 85. Second favourite album from 85, and this is wonderful. This is Lindsey Buckingham's Go Insane. This was his solo effort before Tango in the Night the next year in 86. And to be honest with you, his songs on this are far better than the Tango in the Night songs. It's got the brilliant DW suite, which is like 3 different short songs put together into a big one long song. A wee bit like Abbey Road Medley, but completely different, you know. It is an 80s sounding album, especially with things like Slow Dancing has got a very 80s sound to it, but it's a great groove, that song. Beating Your Drum, or no, sorry, Bang the Drum. Thinking of David Bowie there. Bang the Drum is so like orchestral manoeuvres in the dark around the architecture and morality period. You know, it's very reminiscent. Again, when I first got this, I didn't really like it. I thought, God, you know, this is not the Lindsey Buckingham I expected. But this, you know, really does grow, and I think it's probably his second best solo album. Probably. Behind, well, I'm not going to say just in case I do another review, but Go Insane, he often plays that live, which I don't think he'll be doing anymore, unfortunately, because he had operation and I think his vocal cords are now shot completely. But he often played that live acoustically, and it really worked. This is like the full band version, again 80s sound, but I love it. So that's my number 2 from 1985. And the best album for 1985, and this is probably a little bit of a shock, because this one I didn't like at the start either, but this is a grower. This was one that I would fall asleep to, and I think it must have got into my subconscious, because every time I hear it, it's just, wow. This is Dexys Midnight Runners and their flop album, Don't Stand Me Down. Yep. Dexys, this is their third album. They changed appearances for each album. The first was more like, I don't know, like Northern Soul Boys. The second was, you know, your Irish Dungarees. And the third looks like 4 Yuppies. This is a soul album. This has only got about 7 songs on it. It's not immediate, but this one does really grow on you. The song, well, This Is What She's Like, is about 12-13 minutes long, and I think it's Kevin Rowland's best ever song, to be honest with you. Again, other things like Knowledge of Beauty, The Waltz, One of These Things. This is what I call a blender album. All these songs blend really into one, but it's a really, really good listen, and I think it thoroughly deserves to have the #1 of 1985. Unfortunately, then they split up, but they came back again in about 2012, was it? With just known as Dexys, and they released 2 albums. One is called something about Soar, When I Soar. It's really strong, and the second one's the covers, which is not so bad either. But #1 out of 85. Going on to 86, and again another 80s sounding album. I don't like the 80s sound, but I keep picking ones that are 80s sounding. And this is the Pretenders, Get Close. This is their most 80s sounding album, but this has got so many strong songs on it. My Baby, I love. When I Changed My Life, I love. Don't Get Me Wrong, of course. I Remember You is only about a minute and a half long, but it's gorgeous. Chill Factor is my favourite song on the album, and of course Hymn to Her, which I think is a cover version, but it was a huge hit. Yeah, I would play this Pretenders album more than any other one, to be honest with you, not even above their first album, which I was never that keen on. I thought it had quite a bit of filler on it. The second one I thought was more consistent, but the third one was better. But this one is, I love this, and I keep coming back to this. This is a great album. So that's Pretenders, Get Close. #2 from 1986. And of course it's Paul Simon's Graceland, which I played to death whenever this came out. Side 1 is unbelievably strong, with Boy in the Bubble, Graceland, Diamonds in the Soles of Her Shoes, I Know What I Know. Side 2 is maybe not quite as strong, but it still has You Can Call Me Al, Under African Skies, and All Around the World, and Homeless as well. In fact, I think I'll probably go for side 2 now, because I've played side 1 to death. But yeah, this was after his disappointingly charting of Hearts and Bones. The chart position, it sold nothing, but it was a good album, to be honest with you. But this here is magnificent, and this is #2 of 86. #1 of 86, and a contender for the best album of the 80s, along with Adam Nance, Kings of the Wild Frontier. Queen Is Dead. Perfect again. I overplayed this. I think I told the story about I was going away for the weekend and I couldn't even tape it because my tape player had gone. So I got an old tape player from the 70s out, which was sitting up on the top of the cupboard with a microphone. I stuck the microphone to the speaker and taped the whole album, and it played relatively okay. And I played it the whole way to Donegal, the whole way back, and every day is in Donegal. So yeah, it's got The Boy with a Thorn in the Side, probably my second favourite Smith single. The Queen Is Dead is possibly their best ever song. The lyrics are absolutely hilarious. And again, I stress that Morrissey has so much wit in his lyrics. He wasn't a miserable sod. Well, he is now, like, but he is still very, very witty lyrics. Maybe the only standard song is Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others, although the music's great. Maybe the words were not quite up to Morrissey's standard. So that's #1 of 86. Going on to 87, and this is a bit of a cheat because I think this was released at the end of 86 everywhere else in the world but the UK. But I'm going to pick it for 87. I'm going to, whenever I do the next video, I'm going to reverse that. You'll see what I mean. But this is an odd choice for me. This is Jennifer Warren's famous Blue Raincoat, and this is just her take on a load of Leonard Cohen songs. And I absolutely love this. I love First We Take Manhattan. In fact, it was her version of that I heard first. She does a great version of Joan of Arc. some of the last songs that I wouldn't have been so keen on Leonard doing would be Ain't No Cure for Love and what's that one, I Come So Far for Beauty. But I think that she handles them so well, such a great singer. This is all I have of Jennifer Warnes. I don't know if I would go any further. I may try online, but this is a fantastic album, and I think it was released in the UK in '87, so it gets number 3 of '87. Number 2 of '87 is what I call the Scottish Everly Brothers, and this is a story by the Proclaimers. This album is all acoustic apart from one song, and that's Letter from America, which is a band version. These guys can write great hooks, so they can. There's also the acoustic version of Letter from America on this as well, but things like, let me see, Throw the Hour Away was their first single. Beautiful Truth is an excellent song. They then did a band version of Make My Heart Fly, which I actually do prefer, but I still like the acoustic version, and a wonderful cover of I'm Going to Tear Your Playhouse Down. Great album, great debut. Okay, they do look like two nerdy guys banging out tunes, but I have so much respect for these two. I have their full discography, albeit on CD, but I've seen them live twice, and I'll go again. Brilliant singer-songwriter, brilliant live. So, number 1 of '87, and I'm going to give it to the Housemartins. The people that grinned themselves to death. I think Ross Goodall showed this as one of his pickups lately. He said this is not as good as the first. I think it's slightly better, to be honest with you. I think it's more consistent throughout. Me and the Farmer, brilliant song, hilarious video. 5 Get Overexcited, hilarious lyrics. I can't put my finger on it. It's my favourite Housemartins song of all time. I think the lyrics are so funny. Paul Heaton, brilliant lyricist. I think Stan Collymore did all the music for this. I don't know how much Paul Heaton contributed, but I know that all the lyrics were his. Build, beautiful song, which would sort of show you the way the Housemartins were going to go. And what's the other one I like? The World's on Fire, which shows that Paul Heaton could actually sing and hit the high notes. Great album. Didn't do quite as well as the first, but I think it's better. So that's 1987. Okay, we're going on to 1988 here, and my third favourite album of '88 is Fairground Attraction, First of a Million Kisses. This is very acoustic-y, almost folky, with a slight hint of jazz thrown in. Is it Eddie Redder or Edie Redder? I can never pronounce her name, lead singer, who went on to some success solo in the 90s. Mark Nevin was the guy that wrote most of the songs in this, and he went on to write the music for Morrissey's Kill Uncle album, the disappointingly critically unacclaimed second album of his, which I think is probably one of his best, but again, I'm odd. This is the #1 hit on it, Perfect, but a better song on here is Find My Love, love it to bits. And my favourite song on here is, what's it called? It's the Moon on the Rain. Beautiful. It's got one of my favourite lyrics where she sings, I'll put a string of lights round your heart, which I thought was magnificent, really did. Really excellent listen, and that gets my number 3 from 1988. Number 2 from 1988. This is Nick Lowe's Pinker and Prouder Than Previous. Nick Lowe, all the Nick Lowe's albums in the 80s I like. They're all very pop orientated. This got a little bit more country involved with it, but it's got Your Wildest Dream on it, which I absolutely adore. Crying in My Sleep is like a country song. Big Hair is a little bit rock and rolly. Cry It Out has got a bit of reggae to it. Black Lincoln Continental is a good cover of the Graham Parker song, which was on his Steady Nerves album. Yeah, Love Gets Strange, John Hyatt song, but most of these are Nick Lowe songs themselves. Wishing Well's a great one. This gives it a little bit of a hint to what he was going to do in the 90s and beyond. His next album was Pure Out Rocker with Dave Edmunds producing, although Dave Edmunds does Just one song on this called Lover's Jamboree, but I love this album. It brings back a lot of memories as well from my university days. I got this as a present, and in the year it was released, I think 1988, and this is my number 2. Number 1 of 88, and the Scottish Everly Brothers are back, and this is another contender for the best album of the whole decade. It's got I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles on it. Yes, I know, I've heard it a million times, but I still enjoy it. I still sing it whenever it comes on. I'm On My Way, which was on one of the Shrek films, is one of the catchiest songs ever written. Sean is great. Sunshine and Leith. Oh my boy, what a... That's when you get your lighters out, or your mobile phones in this day and age. It's probably their most popular one live. You would think it would be the 500 Miles, but it's not. It's Sunshine and Leith. This is all electrified, so Gone is the acoustic album. This is a full electric band accompaniment, and it is brilliant. Really is. And I think even now a lot of people who dismiss these guys are saying, yeah, this album is pretty damn good. So that's the best one of 88. 89, can't go without a boy. Tin Machine, their first album. Love this. This is such a refreshing turn after Never Let Me Down. This is in your face rock and roll. This is hard, heavy, and basically that's it. The song Tin Machine is great. I Can't Read is brilliant. Bus Stop, it's only about 1.5 to 2 minutes long. Probably my favourite. This is where the vinyl is better than the CD, because they put 2 extra songs on the CD, and to be honest with you, weren't that very good. This makes it a better album, and this is what I bought whenever it first came out. Yeah, love this. They do a version of Working Class Hero, which would probably annoy some John Lennon fans, because just like his version of Across the Universe, he completely changed it around. But yet again, I do like it, because it's not a copy. It's just they make it their own. I say they. It's really David Bowie album. So let's be honest. So that's my number 3 for 89. Number 2 for 89, and I've shown this before. Everything I hate about the 80s, but I love this album so much. This is The Raw and the Cook by the Fine Young Cannibals. She drives me crazy. I could listen to on repeat for about 15 repeats. Good Things, great. I'm Not the Man I Used to Be is great. The whole album is just... I love it. I absolutely do love it. I'm singing away to it. And I know it's not what I like about music, but this one has just got under my skin. Love it. And I love Roland Gift's voice. And their first album from, I think it was 85 or 86. I think it was 85 actually. It's nearly every bit as good. But this one here just slightly beats it. Yeah, love it. Absolutely adore the album. And as I say, She Drives Me Crazy. It's one of my favourite singles of the 80s completely. So, best of 89. Shown this before as well. This is Welcome to the Beautiful South. This is Paul Heaton's new band after the Housemartins split up. This has got Song for Whoever. Absolutely ingenious lyrics, actually very clever. You keep it all in, as catchy as you'll ever get. From Under the Covers is a little bit like the Housemartins, but things like I Love You But You're Boring, I think are just hilarious. I just think some of the song titles are hilarious, and some of the lyrics are just really funny. Woman on the Wall here about a guy that kills his wife or girlfriend, and plasters her up behind the wall. It's actually quite funny, but it's probably my favourite song on this album. Yeah, I love this. Beautiful Sound, never beat this. They came close with Quench, which would have been their second album, but no, this is their best. And yeah, I'll Sail This Ship Alone. God, it just shows that Paul Heaton can sing. He really can. So that's 1989, the best of 89. So that's it. That's the top 3 albums from 85 to 89. As I say, it wouldn't be my favourite era, but I still think all of those albums I absolutely love, so they deserve their place. Next one, I don't know when, will be 70 to 74, and that'll be it. And again, that would be probably my favourite era, the early 70s, the early to mid 70s. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, hit the like button. If you wish to subscribe, by all means do. It's up to you. Okay, all the best. Bye bye.